So YouTube has recently started serving me what your blank says about you videos on all sorts of topics, and frankly, nothing quite makes you feel seen and understood like a totally arbitrary projection based on a surface facet of yourself. So today, I just thought it would be a lot of fun to do that with clothes, specifically what your wardrobe staples say about you. And these are not just hypothetical wardrobe staples, they truly are yours, because I asked you all over on Instagram what your wardrobe staples are to make this list. I'm so excited. Before we start, a couple of things. One, my viewers have the most wonderful, unique individual style, and I got so many responses that I cannot possibly include them all. I tried to include as many frequent repeat answers as I could, so I hope you all will feel seen by something here. Two, I also cannot include every specific minute variation on every type of clothing, or we would be here for 100 years. If you all enjoy this video, perhaps I will do more videos like this on other categories where we can get more specific. Three, none of this is real. Everything I'm saying here is just made up associations in my brain for entertainment. So if what I say doesn't resonate for you personally, that's fine. It's not real. If it does resonate, I love that. And if it resonates so much that you feel a little personally attacked, just know I also wear almost all of these things and what I'm saying applies to me too. Okay, with all of that said, let's get into it. First up, we're gonna go over some wardrobe essential tops. We gotta start with the #1 classic, a white t-shirt. If this is your go-to wardrobe staple, you strive to be chic and effortless. And you probably are pretty chic and effortless and very clean, because otherwise you might not be wearing a white shirt all the time. I also feel like you are probably more analytical and straightforward versus like more creative and imaginative. You like things to be clean and neat and defined. I mean, like in life, metaphorically, although also probably in your outfits. Second up, a black t-shirt. This for some reason feels slightly more casual and slightly edgier than a white t-shirt. It has more creative vibes to me. I don't know, maybe just because of the stereotype that like artists wear black, but still understated. Subdued. If a graphic t-shirt is your go-to wardrobe staple, I mean, it depends on the graphic, but I'm gonna assume it's like a tasteful, well-designed graphic. If that's your wardrobe basic, you're probably like a funky, cool, creative type. You probably have a really artistic, creative job or hobby. If a striped t-shirt is your go-to basic, I feel like you have a playful spirit. You probably wish you were on the monkey bars or climbing a tree right now. This also feels very like 2010s indie to me, and I feel like you probably listen to a lot of 2010s like indie pop music. Okay, now the next thing could apply to any of the t-shirts we just discussed or a different t-shirt. It is a baggy t-shirt. If you prefer a big, oversized, baggier t-shirt fit, you have never denied yourself any of life's simple comforts. You will always stop for a sweet treat. You will always call a friend while running errands. You live to enjoy yourself and simply have a nice time and not to feel uncomfortable. And I love that about you. Alternatively, if you usually go for a fitted or baby tee, I feel like you are a girly who loves her girlies. You love brunch. You love doing your makeup. You revel in just being one of the girls. And you probably have a lot of girlfriends and you like do cute activities together. All right, now we're moving on to different types of tops. If your go-to basic is a plain tank top, you are the cool, easy breezy girl that everyone wants to be. Maybe just because everyone is jealous that you live in a warm enough climate that this is your go-to basic, and therefore that makes everything about your life aspirational. But I do feel like there's something effortlessly cool about you. You're probably like always down for a little adventure, very go with the flow, very relaxed and open to new experiences. If a white button down is your wardrobe staple, you are probably either always early or you're showing up 10 minutes late with like perfect makeup and a coffee in hand. Either way, you're meticulous, you're particular, you're gonna do things the way that you have set out in your mind. Like you have a plan and a vision and you follow it. Alternatively, if a pattern button down is your wardrobe staple, you're a little funky. You're a little spunky. And you probably also have like a record player or some sort of creative hobby. I don't know why, I just feel like you're really into music specifically. Next wardrobe staple, a plaid flannel button down. This could mean three things. You're country, you're grungy, or you're indie folksy. I feel like if you're country or indie folksy, you love being in the woods, you love a campfire, you love a little sing-along, dare I say. And if you're more on the grungy side, you like love Kurt Cobain, mostly. Next up, we have a denim or chambray button down. In a way, this feels like the chicer, slightly more artsy cousin to the plaid button down, but also like more subdued and normie at the same time. If this is your staple, you're probably an artist or a craftsperson of some kind. Or you're just like a normie who finds artists and craftspeople aspirational, which is also okay. If a chunky, cozy sweater is your wardrobe staple of choice, you love the fall and winter, you love being cozy so much, it's part of your personality at this point. Your dream day is like, you wake up in a cottage. You make chocolate chip pancakes from scratch. After breakfast, you head out for an autumnal woodland walk. And then you spend the evening like drinking hot cocoa, curled up in front of a fireplace with a good book. Am I just describing myself for this one? Am I just describing myself for all of them? Guess we'll never know. Next, a cardigan. To me, cardigans have grandma vibes. If cardigans are your wardrobe staple, you're probably addicted to drinking tea and refusing to leave the house after 6 p.m. And you're probably also a little more quiet and reserved. I feel like cardigans are like the flutes of clothing. Famously, all flautists are quiet and reserved. Next up, we have turtlenecks. This was a big one. A lot of people said turtlenecks. I feel like people who love turtlenecks love a museum. You probably think of yourself as smart, a little academic. You love reading and learning. I don't know, call it the Velma effect. But to me, a turtleneck equals academic. Next wardrobe staple, a frilly blouse. It could be white, it could be colored or patterned, but I'm just picturing like something kind of poofy, maybe a Peter Pan collar or some frills or ruffles. You get the vibe. If this is your staple, you wish you were frolicking in a meadow right now. You probably post memes like this, but then you also have a screen time that like does not reflect this desire at all. Because I also feel like you're probably a little too online for your own good. If your go-to essential is a crew neck, I feel like you're probably the most laid-back person ever, and you're also a very soft, nostalgic person. You're sentimental. You probably even have like a sentimental or personal backstory for that go-to favorite crew neck. And you love to romanticize even the very mundane, small moments in everyday life. If your go-to wardrobe staple is a hoodie, you love to be casual and comfy. And you probably either don't pay that much attention to fashion and fashion trends, or you're like actually very involved in a niche fashion subculture. If a funky vest is your wardrobe staple of choice, you are a very whimsical, eclectic type, possibly with a main character complex. You love to go about life imagining yourself in a movie as the protagonist. For our final top, we have sheer or mesh, like skin tight layering tops. If this is one of your wardrobe essentials, you are so powerful and brave. You have no body odor. You have no sensory issues. You don't get sweaty. You're simply built different. Also, this is hot person behavior. I feel like if you're doing this, you're a hot person. All right, our next category of wardrobe staples is accessories. And we're going to start with socks. This was a pretty frequent answer. And I feel like if a particular style of sock is part of your wardrobe essentials, you just love to add a little whimsy and wonder to your day and your life. You enjoy the beauty in the small surprises of everyday life. You pay attention to the little things. And you are very practical. Realistically, socks are actually a wardrobe essential for pretty much everyone, which is where Bombas comes in, the brand that makes my most favorite socks I've ever worn, and also the sponsor of today's video. If you watch my channel, you've already heard that I have been a fan and wearer of Bombas for over 5 years already, that they're B Corp certified, and that for every item purchased, one is donated to those who need them. All wonderful things. But what you haven't heard yet is how absolutely thrilled I am with my new Bombas Sunday slippers. I have actually been longing for some genuinely cozy supportive slippers for so long because my old slippers, which you've seen in other videos on occasion, were so flat, so unsupportive, frankly disappointing from the first moment I got them in the mail. So I was very excited to try these ones. I had high hopes, and somehow these have not just met, but exceeded them. They are so comfy, super supportive, and they feel so sturdy. I also love this shape. This little back keeps them from slipping off when I'm wearing them, but it's also low enough to easily slide my feet in and out. Bombas also now offers international shipping, so wherever you are, whether you need super comfy, durable, supportive socks or slippers, I continue to highly recommend clicking the link below and using code BeFrilled for 20% off your first purchase. All right, our next accessory is some simple classic jewelry. Just like simple neutral earrings and a necklace. I feel like if this is your go-to, you may be a little more shy and quiet. You're not a super bold person, but you pay attention to small details and nuance. Alternatively, if you love lots of jewelry and more ornate jewelry, perhaps, you love drama, you love to make a statement, and you love to seem mysterious or edgy. Now, when it comes to the color of your jewelry, if you prefer gold jewelry, I feel like you are a very warm, sentimental person. You love the classics, you love vintage, you love to cry over a good old movie. Meanwhile, if you prefer silver jewelry, you're a little more edgy, a little more aloof, a little more intimidating. You have a more cool, stoic energy and a more modern sensibility. I feel like gold jewelry people have like the traits of the sun, and silver jewelry people have the traits of the moon. And if you don't have a specific color preference for your jewelry, or you mix them together, you are a secret third thing. Oh, maybe you have the traits of like a sunset or twilight or the stars. Next accessory, sunglasses. If these are your go-to wardrobe essential, you are effortlessly cool in the way that only a truly practical person can be. I feel like sunglasses are so cool because they're not just a thing you add for no reason to make you look cool. If you're wearing them outside, if you're wearing them inside, that's completely different and you're probably just like a tool. But if sunglasses are your essential in the appropriate context, I feel like you have a true effortless coolness. Next up, we're talking about bags. I'm not going to get too specific with these, but if you carry a big bag, maybe it's a tote bag, maybe it's like a leather bag. Either way, if your bag is big, you are a little chaotic. If your bag is small, you are neat and organized. I also feel like big bag people are more liberal arts, humanities, creative people, and small bag people are more STEM people. I've just made that up, but does it feel right to you? It feels right to me. Next accessory, I'm saying the same thing for both of these. If you said a belt or a watch, you are aspirationally put together to me because those are things that are useful. They tend to make pretty much every outfit better, and I never think about them and almost never wear them. If a belt is part of your true everyday look, you've just got it together at a level that I could only aspire to. If one of your wardrobe essentials is a scarf, you love a little drama. It's Ms. Darbus vibes for me. If you regularly wear baseball caps, you probably know what's going on in professional sports at any given moment. You could probably make a better comment about that than I can because I don't even know what is it? It's March? Is it basketball season? Are they doing March Madness or did that already happen? I don't know. But if you wear baseball caps, you probably know. Tights. If tights are a go-to for you, you are whimsical and you are also a high effort, high achieving person. You're willing to put in the work for success. I say this because wearing tights feels like work to me and I generally avoid doing it. I don't like putting them on. I don't like wearing them. I'm always relieved to take them off. So if you wear them regularly, you're committed to the look and that means you are a go-getter. Speaking of go-getters, if a headband is one of your wardrobe staples, you have the ultimate go-getter, achievement-oriented type A personality. Basically, in my mind, you are Rachel Berry. If hair bandanas are one of your go-to accessories, you love nature, flea markets, and witchy stuff. Your ideal day is like vibing in the woods and then rummaging around a garage sale or an antique mall and then like doing a little tarot reading at the end for reflection and maybe journaling about it. Finally, if your go-to accessory is some sort of totally superfluous and very specific item, some of the submissions that I received include fuzzy star hair clips, brooches, a tie that is the shape of a salmon, a bright red beret, a newsboy cap, colorful sunglasses. You are not necessarily very practical. You might not have a lot to contribute in an emergency situation, but you have a lot of whimsy in your heart and a unique light to share with the world. And you are probably very lovely to be around. All right, next up, we are getting into outerwear. The first one, leather jackets. When I hear leather jacket, I'm like, okay, cool person alert, but not even in a joking, snarky way where I'm making fun of you. I genuinely just think of the leather jacket as part of your daily essentials. That's cool person behavior. And it makes me wonder if you have a motorcycle and if perhaps I can ride on it. Next up, a blazer. If this is your daily essential, I cannot relate to you because your life or your style has a level of structure and formality that I have never experienced in my life. What is that like? Please let me know in the comments. If your go-to is a denim jacket, I think you have transcended. You have transcended trends. You have integrated the ultimate timeless classic into your style. And I assume you have also transcended the petty struggles of this mortal coil. Please teach us all your ways. If your wardrobe essential is a long coat, like a trench coat or a wool coat, any sort of long overcoat, you enjoy a little drama and a little nostalgia and feeling like you're in a movie, but like a subdued historical drama, an understated movie. Because you like drama, but you don't like to feel dramatic. You like to feel a little academic. But secretly, you love drama. If your go-to outerwear is a puffer coat, you really value practicality and comfort. And you live somewhere very cold, and you're braver and stronger than the rest of us. Finally, if your everyday jacket is some sort of like neutral, casual twill or canvas jacket, like a chore coat, a barn coat, Carhartt jacket, whatever specific version, I feel like you are a trades worker or an artist or both. And you've almost gotten to the transcendence of the denim jacket people, but you're like a little more trend conscious. All right, now we're moving on to bottoms, starting with a long flowy skirt. If this is one of your wardrobe staples, you are whimsical, you are soft, you are gentle, you do not handle discomfort well. You just want a soft, gentle experience of the world. And that is generally how you orient yourself and how you move through life. If your go-to is a long, straighter skirt or more fitted or sort of a slinkier look, you're a little mysterious. You're maybe kind of alternative or even gothic. You love a sense of like dark drama. And also, I feel like you're low-key a baddie. Next, if your go-to is a more tailored or structured or fitted miniskirt, you are like so strong and brave, but disguised in cutie patootie form. To me, very rigid and structured miniskirts take a lot of effort to wear. So if this is part of your everyday rotation, I just feel like you must be very powerful. Alternatively, if more of a flowy or ruffly miniskirt is your go-to, you are in cutie patootie form and you have a soft cutie patootie spirit. You're like if a Sanrio character was a person. If polished trousers or slacks are your wardrobe staple, you're a bit of a girl boss. You like to feel polished and professional because you are polished and professional. You're achievement oriented, you work hard, and if that hard work hasn't gotten you great success already, it probably will. Next up, we have leggings or bike shorts, which is just the shorts version of leggings. If these are your go-to staple, listen, you're just trying to live your life. You like comfort and function, and you're probably very busy and like maybe a little overwhelmed. Like you just have too much to worry about to care about pants. And I can't come for you for that. Next, we have jeans. I can't get into the minutia of every different type of jeans, but I will say if you wear wider or baggier jeans, I feel like you are a very relaxed person. You're probably like always late, either because you overslept or because you just failed to budget your time and you couldn't be bothered to rush. Like you're just kind of chilling. You're not pushing yourself too hard. Conversely, if you prefer more fitted or slimmer jeans, you're probably a little more polished and put together. And you're very particular. And once you choose something, you stick to it. You may be a little resistant to change.
Hello, mysterious voiceover coming in from editing Liz because my mic randomly cut out here. So I'm just going to tell you what I was saying and it will not line up with the Liz on the screen, but that's fine. Next, we have joggers. If these are your go-to, I'm guessing you are a somewhat active person, you like to be able to move around, and you're a lover of comfort. And similar to the slimmer jeans, you probably pick something and stick to it. You're a creature of comfort and habit. Next up is cargo pants. If these are your staple pants, you're a little alternative, either in like an urban street style way or a hiking granola way. You probably either love like rock climbing and camping, or you live in a city and have never slept in a tent in your life and frankly think that's a ridiculous thing to do.
Okay, next I'm rolling a few different pant styles sort of into one, but I'm thinking like corduroys, chinos, any pants that are more formal than jeans, but less formal than like traditional business slacks. I don't know. This is what I wear most often, and I feel like I'm honestly too close to it to like project anything onto it. You know what? If you wear these pants on the day-to-day, you are a perfect person with no flaws, and everyone loves you, and you are so beautiful. And that's all I have to say about that one. Next up, we have loose, flowy pants, maybe linen. This is sort of the vibe I'm picturing. If these are one of your wardrobe staples, you probably like do a lot of traveling to tropical countries, or you maybe live in a tropical country, but I feel like you have a very cool, adventurous life. And you do yoga. You're just like aspirational and you're kind of on a different plane than the rest of us. Next up, we have overalls. If these are your go-to bottoms of choice, you might be a little quirky. You might have a little bit of an individuality complex, but I also think you're very warm and down to earth, and you have a gentle spirit. Either that or you're a literal farmer and you've found that characterization very inaccurate and borderline annoying, which is fair. Finally, if your go-to is a pair of funky patterned pants, you are such a fun, warm, sunny person. You're probably very outgoing and talkative and friendly because these are friendly pants. And maybe you've been told that you're like a little much by mean, small-minded people, but you're not. You're just like have so much warmth and personality that you need to share with the world. All right, next up we have shoes. Honestly, I could do a whole video just on this, but I tried to go for just some of the most common responses in this section, starting with Chelsea boots or Blundstone boots. If these are your daily shoes, I think you take comfort in what is familiar to you. You're probably my age or older, and you're a bit outdoorsy and indie, but also in your heart of hearts, you are stuck mentally in 2014 on Tumblr, but we celebrate that here. Next up, chunky combat boots, Doc Martens or others. If these are your go-to shoes, you're probably a little alternative, kind of artsy, maybe a little edgy. And you know what? You were probably also on Tumblr in the 2010s. If your go-to shoes are knee-high boots, the sidewalk is your runway, life is a fashion show, and you came to serve. You're like Andy in The Devil Wears Prada post makeover sequence. If your go-to shoes are loafers, you want to be taken seriously, but not too seriously. You're like a bit academic and serious, but in sort of like a cozy, eclectic professor grandpa way, not like a corporate executive way. Next up, Mary Janes. If these are your go-to shoes, you are a cutesy, whimsical girly. You are nostalgic, you love vintage, you're a little sentimental, and you probably like love calico critters. If Crocs are one of your wardrobe staples, you're just a silly, goofy little guy. One thing about you, you will never be caught taking life too seriously. And as sort of a Crocs hater, I can respect that. I think I do have the habit of taking things too seriously.
Hi. My mic cut out again. This is the last time, I promise. Next up is a pair of neutral, sporty-ish street sneakers. If these are your staple shoes, you do not love to be perceived. You often just want to blend in with the background without too much thought one way or the other about you. Next, we have garden clogs, which I never would have included, but I got multiple survey answers saying this. If these are your staple, this tells me you like to garden or you wish you gardened, which either way means you're a very idealistic person.
You're probably always talking about like third spaces and walkable cities. Man, this is making me feel like I need some gardening clogs. Next up, Converse. You are an angsty indie teen. If not literally, then spiritually forever in your heart. If your go-to essential shoes are cowboy boots, you are either just like a fun, free spirit or a literal cowboy or farmer. Those are the two options. Do they ever overlap? Maybe. Maybe you're a fun, free-spirited cowboy farmer. Okay, this next one is more of a category that can like be applied to lots of different shoes, including many of the ones we just talked about. But if you mostly wear black shoes, you are either a little bold and a little edgy, or you're just like super classic and don't think about your shoes very much. Whereas if you wear mostly brown shoes, you're a little more of a soft, gentle soul and maybe a little like earthy and granola. And if you wear both of those shoe colors and more, what can I say? You contain multitudes. All right, we're on to the final category, which is just sort of other miscellaneous things that didn't fit into the other categories, starting with a matching sweat set. If you wear these in your regular life, you probably like wake up at 5 a.m. to work out and have a smoothie, and I could not relate less to that. But I'm so happy for you. If one of your essentials is just like a classic, pretty, flowy sundress, I feel like you are just such a sweet, lovely person. You just have an effervescent energy and you want to radiate it into the world. And you do. And people sense that energy from you. You make them feel warm and welcome. Next up, this is more of a category and another one I never would have included, but it came up so many times repeatedly in my Instagram answers. Green clothing. A lot of you are addicted to wearing green clothing, be it like one specific piece or just like literally anything green. If you love to wear green clothing, you're probably a little earthy and outdoorsy. You probably love your houseplants. They're like a big part of your identity. And I think you have a very lively yet down-to-earth energy. Next up, if you consider any piece of merch one of your top wardrobe essentials, you are probably a very highly sensitive, emotive person who gets very emotionally invested in the things that connect with you and bring you joy. You wear your heart on your sleeve, and you probably cry easily. I feel like you're probably one of those people who like cries all the time about just little things because you're just like, the world is so emotionally moving and how could I not react? Our last item. If I tell you to list your wardrobe essentials and like the thing that comes to mind for you is any sort of bra or undergarment, you are the realest person here and the most practical. You are the mom friend 100%, if not an actual mom. And finally, if everything on this list feels like a wardrobe staple to you, your style is very eclectic, you are indecisive, and you may need to refine your definition of a staple. All right, we covered over 70 wardrobe basics here today. I hope you had fun. I hope you felt seen by at least something here, hopefully multiple things. Let me know in the comments if my descriptions rang true for you or not. And honestly, while working on this video, I thought of so many items that I could make like multiple whole other dedicated videos just on specific niches, like shoes, accessories, whatever. So we will see. If more editions are to come, let me know if you are interested in that. And if you want more editions of this, please let me know what categories and what items you would like to see included. Oh, and if you leave a comment, watch another video, and subscribe, I heard that that your most favorite wardrobe essential that you wear all the time in your wardrobe will never wear out, it will never get damaged, and it will survive and continue to serve you in your wardrobe until the end of time.